One thing you need to know, a very clear difference between illegal immigrant and a student, because on this application there is so much of I think nuisance, and people are not really aware of it, that they are calling students illegal as well. Students are not illegal, they come through legal route, and government is one who actually approves their put a stamp on their passport, and after that stamp IRCC give them a study permit, after which they actually are allowed to come to the country. So that is a legal way of coming to a country. And some people now will say, well, oh, you're coming here for study, you shouldn't be allowed to stay here. That is right. Now, when you get your study permit, there is this thing that after your education, you get your post-graduation work permit as well. So what does that mean? That them two things go side by side. They are together. So when you get your study permit, after you complete your education, you apply for your postgraduate work permit, which means that you work for next, some people get it for 2 years, some people get it for 3 years, depending on term of your education. Now, when you get that PGWP, which is post-graduation work permit, that's when you're actually working full-time. While when you're on your study permits, you are only allowed certain hours. Back in days, it was 20 hours. Now it is increased up to 24 hours. So there are these two things which are different. People, because now there's this new rule change with IRCC that certain programs are the only ones that you will get PGWP with. That's a new update. And I think that is right too, because they probably want people, which we are having a labor shortage, they want to have those courses open so that you study those courses and then only you get that PGWP, which is after you finish education, you get your foreign experience of working in those fields, and then you can apply for your permanent residency if you want to stay here. That is just like a route people normally take. Now, those courses, they are more of which those courses are the courses that people that we need now in the country. They want people to actually take those courses, study those courses so that they can get that PGWP thing. There were these comments in one of the person's video that, oh, when people come on the study permit, don't they have to show funds? So why do they need work permit? Work permit is separate. There are a lot of different streams of work permit. There is open work permit, there is PGWP, there is closed work permit, there is LMIA, there's a lot of different things. But when it comes to students, normally it's a study permit. So normally when it comes to students, it's just PGWP is something that they normally go for. Now, they should have funds. Yes, they should have funds. So now, to clarify, because some people think that, oh, students come here, take our benefits. Now I'm not a student, but I was once. But then we don't have access to any of the funds. We bring our own funds from our country. And then how that works is, so let me give you a little bit of explanation about that too, because there is so much of lack of, like, a gap of that specific knowledge as well. So when we come here, we bring our GIC, which is called Guaranteed Investment Certificate. What does that mean is, back in days it was 10,000, now it is increased up to 20,000. So you have to bring $20,000. It's not like you bring cash with you. Even before coming to this country, from your back home country, you have to put that money in banks here. For example, CBC, TD, whatever you want to call that. So that money comes to this banks in a form of GIC, and it's $20,000 now. And it's not like that once student come here, open their bank accounts, they get that 20,000 right away. That's not how it works. Every month they get $1,000 to $1,200 for their living expenses. That's the traditional route many students take. They put $20,000 in GIC, then every month they get $1,200 some dollars for their living expenses. That is just their living expenses. And we know how expensive things are here. Even $1,200 is not enough. So that's why government of Canada have this thing that when students are on study permit, they can work off campus 20 hours, or now it is raised up to 24 hours. So technically, a student is only doing 24 hours. When it was COVID, That was the time when essential services, if students were working in essential services, they were open full time just to cover that labor shortage. But now it has gone back to 24 hours. And if you think that, but they work under the table, who is hiring them under the table? The Canadian residents, permanent residents who are having their own businesses, they are the one hiring them under the table, giving them cash under the table. Both parties are wrong there. And if you think you know someone who is doing that, report them, complain about them, because that's what is illegal. Now, they bring the funds. They pay first year's yearly fee, tuition fee, before even filing for their visa. So when they file for their visa, there's a whole list that they have to do. And that whole list consists of getting a letter of acceptance from your college, getting a provincial attestation letter. That means that your education and your IELTS score and everything is valid. That is started now after they found out there are so many scams happening. Well, they're taking precautions, right? After PAL letter, they have to have the GIC done, which is $20,000. Then they have to show the next year's fee and the living expenses in their bank account. And it's not like that you only have to show in, like today you deposit it and tomorrow you show and you take it out. No, that's not how it works. You have to have that funds in there from last I think 4 to 6 months. And then after looking at all those factors showing your credibility, you get a study permit. It's not like, oh, I want to come to this college. You apply for it and you get a bloody visa. It doesn't work like that. So it's a whole thorough process. And who is giving them visas? If you think that, but they're coming in such a mass number, well, that is something that Canadian government should look at, that if they think that there are a lot of more students and they don't need more students, they should have lowered that number down. But that will not happen, because there's a big amount of money that is coming through them. Now, they were like, oh, well, they're not really coming here for studies. They go to such a shitty colleges. Not all of them. Not all of them. Yeah, I can say probably 50% of them do that. But who is allowing them, students, to come to these colleges? So if those immigration officers, which are appointed by Government of Canada, when they are giving the visas out, don't they see that this college is like a private college and is out of nowhere, that have no credentials, have no ability, and is not even a good college? They should just decline the visa. So it's more of a money-making scheme, right? You are applying, you're paying $100 to apply. Then on top of that, you're paying $300 to apply for visa. And then on top of that, after all of this, those colleges charges you fees and as well. If you know, it's not like Government of Canada don't know. IRCC knows that this college is not really like, if they know that this college is not really a valid college or whatsoever, they can just decline the visa. So if they will decline the visa, how are they going to come here? So today it's about study permits. Tomorrow we will talk about another topic related to this. I hope this might clear out some of the doubts that people are having around students, around so much hate for the students. And also, not only outsiders, I feel like now outsiders probably do understand it more better, but there is so much hate coming from your own community of people and all this hatred coming from people who were once students, who were once work permit. I get it. Maybe the students that are coming, or some people are saying they're not the very prime quality that are coming now. They're coming right after grade 12. Well, they're coming after grade 12 because that's when they start college. They want to start early. But if you think that is that is not credible, the government is the one who should take those measures, because they are the one who is giving them the visas, right? I hope this helps. I hope this video is more of about education, to give a little bit of insights of how this thing works. Because now, for instance, if I don't know anything about, let's say if I don't know anything about military, because I never thought about going to military, right? So I don't know about that part. So same way, if Canadian citizens or people that are from different countries who never really needed to know about how study permits work, so there is a gap of knowledge. This video is mainly to cover that gap, and I hope this helps. Tomorrow we will, like in our next video, we might unlock few more things that are creating this issue, because there's so much hate. Is that we should just kind of bring it down a notch, the hate.